Oh, it's
All right. Welcome to another podcast here with Todd Probasco from Lakeside Bank. I have a very special guest with me this week. It's Maria Thanasouras from Sotheby's in Chicago. Maria, how are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing
Good.
good. This is amazing. I am so excited. Right before we started recording, we just talked about how we're reconnecting. For those of you who are listening or watching, Maria and I actually grew up together. We went to grade school together. We went to high school together. Her mom was my PE teacher. And here we are later in life. And Maria's doing amazing things with real estate in Chicago. And I'm a mortgage banker here in Chicago. So we reconnected via social media. And here we are doing a podcast. So isn't that kind of cool?
It's very exciting, Todd. I'm really super excited for 2026. I think we had a really rough ride in 2025, and it's just going to be wonderful to have the opportunity to work with you, to talk to you about what's headed in 2026 and where we were in 2025 and our predictions for the market moving forward. So I'm very excited to chat with you about that.
Exactly. So, for those of you listening, Maria and I are both based here in Chicago, and it's a hot market. We're a great city, and always something going on in Chicago. And real estate, I always tell people, if you go to a restaurant or a bar, especially a bar, if you're sitting around, I guarantee you, if you're there for a couple hours, someone's going to bring up real estate. They're going to
A
talk about
hundred
it,
percent,
right?
100%. I
Everyone
mean,
wants everyone wants to talk about how much their house is worth or what's going on, right, Maria? And
oh, absolutely. Airports, bars, um, restaurants, even workout classes. I have gotten a hairdresser. I mean, I have gotten a lot of clients just sitting next to somebody, oh, you're in real estate? Oh, we're thinking about selling. So it's very interesting, the little social spots that we get business from. And it's really, it's social interaction. It's trusting the person and knowing that that person, is going to be there for you. So it's really fun. It's really
yeah,
fun to have those
and
conversations.
and if we and this podcast can kind of be like sitting around a bar talking about real estate.
Oh, totally,
All
totally.
right.
So,
All right. So anyway, I didn't want to cut you off, but let's get into who you are. People
okay.
probably know who I am, but I'll give a little background after you. But um, you grew up in the Palos area like me, but let's fast forward and go through that and talk about what you've done in your career in real estate, which I think is amazing. I know a little bit
Oh,
about it.
thank you.
Yeah.
So, Todd, I have been in real estate for 32 years. I graduated college. I, um, had a lot of different things going on, and then I decided to go into real estate. Well, I've been doing this, like I said, for 32 years. I have over $275 million in sales.
Wow.
Yeah, so I really work on the aspect of client relations. It's really important for me to make sure that everybody has a really wonderful experience from start to finish. I have, processes. I consider what I do a very important part of someone's life. So throughout the years, I've done a lot of different things, new construction, new development. A good portion of my first part of my career was that just that. And, things changed in 2008, and I have withstood all of the, highs and lows of real estate. And, I've actually helped a lot of people from the Orland area. Like a lot of our friends, kids have bought or sold property with me. And, I take that to heart, and I appreciate the loyalty. And, my job is to make people feel comfortable about the decisions they're making, whether they're selling or buying. So I'm at Jameson Sotheby's right now, which is an amazing company because Sotheby's, the brand is incredible. I have a, in addition to just, the marketing and the brand of Sotheby's, we have like this amazing network of agents all over the world that we have a referral network, which is really great. And a lot of people don't understand what that is. And, um, you know, I, people come to me and say, oh, we're moving to Arizona. Well, I have 5 people in Arizona I could recommend to them through the Sotheby's network. So it's been a really great ride for me. I don't intend on quitting anytime soon. And, I've my successes are, attributed to the people who trust me. And I really appreciate that. And I'm so grateful for that. And it's something that I don't take lightly.
Yeah. There's that old saying, people buy from people.
Yeah,
And I could see why someone would hire you in a heartbeat, but we're in this world of electronic media, social media, internet, searches, reviews, all this stuff that's going on in the world, which a lot of it is good because it's giving the consumer more information. But when it's all said and done, you're making one of the largest purchases or decisions in your life.
right.
If you don't have an experienced, trusted, licensed individual, why would you go down that road? Why would you even consider trying to do it on the internet or whatever? I mean, I like the internet because it connects you and I with people and they can read about us, which in the past it was like you would go, okay, Joe, call Todd. And I'd be like, call Maria. And I'd say,
Right.
oh, she's the best. And that would be the end of it. But guess what? You could tell people to call me. They're going to go online and read about me and read the reviews before they pick up the phone and call me. Right.
Right.
So
That's right.
do you
Yeah,
agree?
it's a big
I don't think
shift.
that personal thing's going to go away.
No, and it's a shift in the business that all of us that have been in the business for a while have, you either do it or you don't. And if you don't, you're just gonna kind of fall to the wayside. So, I embrace it. I embrace the change. Yeah, it is the person. And, like you can't go by their Instagram feed because a lot of that is fake. And, the reality is this is a big deal. And especially right now, it's not just writing an offer and, uh, you know, going over asking price. There are nuances that are going on right now in a deal that is so, like very specific. And you have to really know how to craft a really good offer when you're working with buyers. And then on the selling side, you really need to understand what buyers are looking for. Buyers are very savvy right now. They want, everything. And it's very, it's probably gotten harder with technology. I
Mhm.
think it has gotten a
Yeah.
bit harder, and it's
Mhm.
it's 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 not just this like just show up and write an offer. It's you are an advisor, an advocate for the, clients. We, walk and talk them through everything every step of the way. And, you know, we have relationships too. Like we have relationships with other agents, with mortgage brokers, and making sure that our clients are well taken care of with our relationship builders. And it's really a team effort and doing things from that perspective. And it's and I like it because you're not this, man in an island. It's more of a team approach, which is
I agree.
great.
I
Yeah.
agree. The attorney, the inspector, the realtor, the lender,
Yes.
and someone like you and I who have been doing it over 20 years, we know the ones to call.
Yes.
You
Well,
can go on
and
the
I think
internet.
people don't realize, I think people realize knowing us, but I don't think people realize the um the like greatness of that and the value of that because I've had colleagues of mine that have worked with, let's just say, an attorney, and they don't do real estate attorney. Well, they they will kill the deal every single time.
Yeah.
And so
Yep.
it's really more about helping someone get through the transaction and letting them live their life in a happy, peaceful way.
Yeah. I've done several of these podcasts with licensed real estate people kind of all over the country. And it's amazing. You're the first person who has emphasized the power of a team.
Yeah.
And I kind of like take it for granted because I live in that world every day.
Yeah.
But people who are buying or selling, my God, like, again, you can go to the internet and read whatever you want, but you don't want a divorce attorney doing a real estate deal, and you don't want an inspector who doesn't do houses in the burn. I don't know what it is, but the
Well,
thing is,
I'll,
if they
yeah.
call you can connect the dots and put that team
Well,
together.
and the big thing about that is having an initial consult, whether you're selling your home or buying a home. I don't do anything until I meet with people, so I can explain to them what I do, what my value is, where I help them, and this team that I kind of surround myself on the listing side, staging, contractors, attorneys, referring out if they're moving out of, our general area, where my areas are. But like, this is a team approach. This is to help them. And I think there is a lack of that in people with less experience. They just want to churn and burn. I am not a churner and a burner. I'll never be that. And then, like, on the buying side, there are so many agents that don't explain the loan process. And I've been doing this for a long time. I don't know all the intricacies of a loan. However, I do know, like, that some of these people, I have no idea what clear to close means. Some of these people don't understand the difference between a loan uh, approval, like a pre-approval approval, and a commitment letter. Those are things that I believe are, like, that's my job, is to be communicative with people. And even on the listing side, like, understanding the tax proration. Some people don't even realize that, like, they have to pay their taxes before they close.
Yeah.
And, coming up with a, you know, uh, bottom line number of what they're going to, receive from the proceeds, So it's really important to communicate, explain, and tell your clients you have a team approach and there is a process, and that you're there to make that process, you know,
Yeah.
seamless and easy. Not to say that
Yeah.
every situation is going to be easy. It's just getting through those bumps in the road in a very smooth fashion, if you do have bumps in the road.
Or there's that old saying in real estate, there's no such thing as a good surprise.
There's always surprises. I don't care what anybody
Yeah.
says. There's
But
always a surprise. There's
there is.
always a,
Yeah.
yeah,
But when it comes to the numbers part, they usually don't surprise you and say, guess what? You need 20 grand less. It's always the other way around. And if you don't
yeah,
have somebody experienced who's doing the transfer tax, who's doing, all the prorated things that need to be paid up front, all of a sudden you're like, what?
yeah,
So I always like to go worst case scenario. Here's worst
yeah,
case scenario. You need XYZ. And
right,
then if we come in less than that, hallelujah. But
right.
it's so much easier to go down in numbers than it is to go up on,
1000%.
right?
Yes.
So
Yeah. And I think, you know, our generation of people, like you're not, our generation, they understand that, but I think young people have a hard time. I try to make that, like, human connection with them, and make, I could send them links and everything, but sometimes having a conversation is the best way to kind of cover all these things. So,
sure.
I wouldn't be doing what I do if I didn't like it and I didn't have passion about it.
And it's obvious to both of those. So
Yeah.
on that note, before we get into the next subject, is on the video, people can leave a question or a comment for Marie and I. And I'll also have the contact information for both of us if you want to reach out with a question. So that'll be there for anybody listening. We're going to move forward a little bit. Let's do a quick recap of what 2025 was. That was a unique year, I think is a good word to say it.
Yep.
Why don't you give me a little background on the real estate
I'll give
side?
you a little, 2025 was a year of prices increasing, rates increased, and lack of inventory. So
Bam.
all three of those just create a real problem, a real storm.
Yeah.
It's a problem for both buyers and sellers, because if people are moving, they're buying something.
Right.
And for buyers, going into situations where there's a line out the door, they're one of 30 people making an offer. Um, they're defeated immediately
Yeah.
like at an open house. You've got listing agents, feeling the pressure from both sides, from the seller, like this better sell over asking, and then you've got the buyer side who is like so intimidated by that kind of a scenario. It was really rough. And then we had sellers changing their mind, like completely like saying, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going to sell this. I
Right.
decided not to.
Right. Yeah.
So it was
was a mess.
very up and down. It was a very emotional year. I think,
Mhm.
the year of the snake is behind us. The year of the horse is ahead of us.
Is that from the Chinese calendar?
Yes, it
All
is.
right,
It
good.
is. It
I
is.
better follow that more often because it
Yeah,
wasn't.
I mean, it's like we are in a year of abundance, and
Yeah.
like let's just keep this momentum going. But like it was very busy November and December for me, which is very different than my past years. So um I think the people are really looking forward to this year coming forward with the rates. I think there's a little bit, and obviously we know politics come into play, but like that just is about the rates and like the how that's going to affect somebody, the
Mhm.
taxes and all those sorts of things. So people were kind of in a holding pattern to determine like what was going to be, the outcome. So, we had a lot of things going on in 2025. So
We did. We did.
it's behind us.
It's behind us. We're in a new year, a new season.
Yes.
But I agree 100%. It was rate driven. It was lack of inventory, the news, the uncertainty in the market. The bond market didn't respond
No.
favorably to that, which made interest rates go up and down. And people would turn on the TV, they hear one thing today, something tomorrow, and it just created
Correct. Yes.
it was like a storm.
Yeah.
But like you just said, as we got toward the fourth quarter, it's like the dust started settling, and it just like started chilling out.
Right.
And as I said to you right before we started recording this, my phone is ringing off the hook, and it's the second week of January.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I've got like I had something under contract in December and it closed, and I've got another property under contract right now. It's closing in like less than 3 weeks. So things are busy right now.
yeah,
So, and listen, I want to tell buyers, don't wait. Do not wait. These opportunities right now are a little golden egg for
yeah,
you. Like
I agree.
do it
I
now.
agree. Rates have slipped below 6, which is a good segue into our last segment, which is what you and I think is going to happen in 2026. 2026 already is starting out better than the whole year of 2025 looked. What are your thoughts on, I'll talk about rates, but what are your thoughts on inventory? Do you see inventory increasing and have more choices for buyers?
So here are my predictions. I think
Okay.
prices are going to go up about approximately 5%. Some people are saying 8%. I think in specific instances, like in areas that are real hot, I think they could go up to 8%, but I think it's going to be at about 5%. I
Okay.
think inventory is going to loosen up a little bit because the rates have loosened up a little bit. So, um, I think certain locations, again, in Chicago on the north side, uh, I I believe there's going to be multiple bids, but it's not going to be as chaotic. I think it's going to have a little bit of a normal approach. I think, like I said, certain locations, Bucktown, Wicker Park, uh, Lakeview, Lincoln Park, specific like micro little categories will be still very competitive, but I
Mhm.
think overall it's going to be very um, like a normal market that's busy in the spring. Spring market is always busy. And, in the suburbs, I think come May, it's going to be gangbusters again. And I think we're going to see prices go up. I think we're going to have a little bit of normalcy in the marketplace. And I think you're going to see um, some new construction as well, I think. I mean, we haven't had new construction in so long, but I
Right.
think things are loosening up in that arena as well.
Yeah, and rates, for those of you listening, we've now slipped below 6% for the first time in a couple of years. The bond market is stable right now.
Yep.
So this kind of plays into what you do on the side that I work on, and you kind of alluded to that if rates go down, inventory could go up, and people go, why is that? And here's why. There's people that have been sitting in the weeds for a couple of years because they got a 2.75 interest rate.
Correct.
Right.
I
And
mean,
they're not,
I think anybody like in our age group or anything of that, like everybody is just sitting around waiting. We're waiting for the opportunity, like, okay, if they go below 6, I think we can do this, and
right. Yeah.
yeah,
So it was hard to go from 2.7 to 7.
yeah,
People, they couldn't swallow that. They couldn't put their arms around it. But now if I tell them, okay, you've been wanting to move for whatever reason, it's called life. You need a downside, but you've been putting it off. Well,
right.
what if Maria could sell your house for a good amount of money and help you find one, and I get you a rate at 5.758? Guess what? That's doable.
It is doable. I mean, Todd, we've been in the business long enough. I was selling real estate when the rates were 13%.
Right?
I mean, there were no phones. I mean, like, I think about that. I'm like, oh my God, 2.5% or 2.25 or whatever it was is no longer going to happen. I mean, it shouldn't happen,
No.
but in the 5s, it's a doable thing. It should be. It should be. So I think things are going to loosen up. And I believe that Chicago's market, knock on wood, is, inclusive of the suburbs. We have a really good marketplace. We're probably one of the only major metropolitan areas that has not taken a hit, like in prices going down. So, I think if we can have the stabilization, I think it's going to be great for for our market in 2026.
Yeah. And you and I work the whole market, and whether it be city or suburban, I agree with everything you're saying. I think we're going to see a modest increase in price. Interest rates are going to stay a little bit lower and stabilize. Inventory will increase because those people who have been waiting, it now makes sense to run the numbers and see what they can do. And on that note, if you are interested in having the numbers ran between Maria and I, again, the information will be at the bottom of the video to give us a call. But if you want to throw out your phone number, Maria, I'll throw mine out for people who are just listening on the radio or whatever. They can jot our phone number down. How's an easy way to get a hold of you? Are you there? Okay, well, I think we just lost Maria, but I will put her information at the bottom. And I want to thank you for listening. Are you there?
I am here. Yes.
There you are. Okay.
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
That's all right. If somebody wanted to give you a call, what's a good number to reach you at?
312-296-4114. And you can text me, call me. I'm also on Instagram at Thanasouras RE. That's my Instagram handle. And you can DM me there too.
I love it. That's 312. I love it. 312-296-4114.
Correct.
All right. And if anybody needs to get a hold of me, it's 708-205-2983. Again, 708-205-2983. This has been one of the best interviews I've ever done. Maria Thanasouras from Jameson Sotheby's. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for who you are. Thank you
This is
for
a
being
pleasure.
on. And anybody looking to buy or sell in the Chicagoland area, please reach out to Maria and I, and we will definitely make sure you're taken care of.
We will take care of you. Thank you so much, Todd, for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening, and we'll
Have
talk
a
to you
great
soon.
2026.
You too.
Bye-bye.